The next young man I'd like to welcome to the stage has a tough act to follow. Joseph Gus Dendanto has been selected as a representative speaker. He's a son of Megan Smith and Dan Dendanto of Seal Cove. His academic interests fall primarily in the social studies arena, particularly pre-American discovery. He's excelled in all manner of extracurriculars, including show choir, student council, and during his junior and senior years, he was the stage manager for the one-act play. Gus has shown great leadership as a senior class vice president. He plans to attend either Husson University or the University of Maine in the fall. Come on up, Gus.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Haney, for that wonderful introduction. And you are correct, I do have a tough act to follow. I know that most of you here in the audience have had ample time to hear me talk in the last 4 years. For that reason, I'll try to keep this speech concise. Before I say anything, I want to thank a few people. We all have people who have helped us along the way here in high school, and I firmly believe that it is our responsibility to thank those people for their presence in our lives. I'd like to thank the custodians here at MDI High School, as well as the administrators. Thank you. They helped make the education we received here possible. I'd also like to thank Whitey and the chefs for keeping the standards of food here far above the norm. I'd like to thank the teachers here at MDI, because without them, this place would have been an empty husk. There's a few more. Most of all, I'd like to thank the students here at MDI, because it is the students that truly make a school what it is. And I think that it's fair to say that we made this place pretty amazing. I'd like to give a special thank you to one of our classmates in particular, Riley Heist, who has proved of the utmost value both as a student council president and a senior class officer. And lastly, I'd like to thank the parents here today. They gave us these fine individuals sitting before me. Without them, the morals, values, and genetic beauty simply wouldn't be here. I mean, really, this is an attractive graduating class. If we're gonna clap for anything, that should be it. Thank you. I thought of a lot of flowery things I could say to you today. I had a pretty long list of words. Fancy, not so fancy. I had some not too great jokes and some reassurance for you that you were all going really great places in life. I threw that speech away, incidentally, several days ago when I got a really, really awful sunburn. Some of you know, have heard about it. As many of you know, I'll be working on a lobstering boat this summer with my new boss and what I'd like to think of as my good friend, Ronnie Musetti. I've been out on, thank you. Fishing is a new experience to me, and I've been out on the water quite a bit in small crafts, but I have never really traveled in anything so large as a commercial fishing boat. Naturally, I wanted to get the hang of things before my actual job started, go out a few days, learn the ropes, if you will, and that awful pun is intended. So I got up for my first day. I was very excited. Woke up at 3 a.m., pretty impressive for this guy. Got dressed in sweats and brought my new gear with me. About an hour out on the water with Ronnie, I found out two very interesting facts. One, I get seasick on anything longer than 15 feet. Two, and more importantly, the boat I'm gonna be on all summer, definitely longer than 15 feet. I spent that first day feebly stuffing bait bags and more often than not trying to stay out of the way while dry heaving. That was a pretty big setback. What was I going to do? I mean, I had really enjoyed the times on the boat when I wasn't throwing up, but third man on a lobster boat, not exactly an ideal position for somebody who gets seasick. Obviously, I had to do something. I went on a rampage through the internet, and within about 5 hours or so, I had found a non-drowsy seasickness medication. So far, it's been working. I didn't expect adversity when I stepped onto that boat. I didn't imagine for a second that I'd have a problem. But I did. Adversity came, and it's always going to come. No matter what we're setting out to do in life, no matter what our plans are, there's only one guarantee. it's not going to work out quite the way we planned it. Rolling with the punches, or in this instance, the waves, is going to be a part of our journey, whether we like it or not. Challenges and adversity cannot be avoided. They have to be endured while we hang on and hopefully figure out what to do next. All right, so that was my first day. I returned home worn out, stressed out for the job that I'll add I gave my word I would do, and with a remaining headache from seasickness. By the end of that week, I had my meds in hand though. My second day came that Saturday. This one I was excited for. I woke up, got psyched. I trusted that my medication would work. I believed falsely that my great run-in with adversity was over, and I was going to have a great day. But as some of our track stars here can tell you, once you've jumped your first hurdle, you're usually running headlong for your next one. After we loaded the traps for that day, Ronnie, being the phenomenal guy that he is, asked me if I wanted any sunscreen. Sunscreen? This guy? I'm Italian, dude. Thank you. I turned that sunscreen down. As a result, I found it painful to put on a shirt for the next week. Someone tried to show me kindness. That, in and of itself, is truly profound. The world needs kindness, big and small. Be good to others, because that's the only way we can receive goodness in return. Kindness is something we must strive to give, even if that kindness seems as insignificant as sunscreen. We might not get offered a hand up very often, but when we do, it shouldn't be an issue of pride, because it's an issue of love. I urge you, take the sunscreen. Now, I've never worked the same summer job for 2 years in a row. I've enjoyed all my jobs, but what I realize now is that I've always been looking for something better. I've been looking for the next opportunity. There's no harm in staying with something you like. There's no harm in enjoying a job or being content where you are. But I urge you not to let fear of the unknown guide your decisions. I went to the local cliffs for the first time this year. Something else you should know about me. In addition to getting seasick and easily sunburnt, I'm kind of terrified of heights. I mean really terrified. I let my friends jump off that rock about 8, 9, 12 times before I attempted it. It was terrifying when I did. I stood on the edge of that rock. I looked down into the water. I knew I had to jump. After what felt like hours, I managed to make my feet leave the rock, and a terrifying second later, they found the water. If it's fear holding you back, then throw caution to the wind and take the plunge. I didn't feel happy when I jumped. I didn't feel a sense of accomplishment or pride. I felt scared. But it's often said that we will more often regret the things we avoid rather than the chances that we take, and I believe that. Oliver Wendell Holmes is famously quoted as saying, "Most people go to their grave with their music still in them." And I ask you not to let that happen. Let your music ring out. Declare your passion and your love to the world. Hold on to your tune, whatever it might be, and don't let fear be your volume control. I want to leave you with a few simple messages here today. I want to tell you that adversity will hit. It's going to hit hard, but don't worry, because you can take that hit. I want to tell you that kindness is the only thing that keeps this world breathing. And I want to tell you that when others offer kindness, it's not weakness to accept it, but rather the essence of humanity. And lastly, I want to tell you this. We're going to walk up to a lot of cliffs in our lives, and we're going to have a lot of inner voices telling us to turn back. Jump anyway. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you.